Mrs. Peterson?
Yes? Can I, help you?
My name is David. Mrs. Peterson, I knew your son, Caleb. And we trained together and served together, and, well, we came to be good friends.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 2014 film The Guest. The movie follows a mysterious soldier named David, played by Dan Stevens, who arrives at the home of the Peterson family, claiming to be a friend of their son who died in combat. However, things go a little bit sideways when things don't appear to be as they seem. Going into this movie, I didn't really know exactly what I was going to be getting myself into. The movie is directed by Adam Wingard, who has directed the past two Godzilla x Kong movies, but he also directed a movie back in 2010, but didn't really get released until 2013, called You're Next, that I wasn't really the biggest fan of, but I am due for a rewatch on that one, because going into that movie and coming out of that film, I felt like I watched a completely different movie that I was being sold on. So I definitely need to go back into watching that film. But The Guest is one of my biggest surprises and probably my favorite film that he's done so far. He's a director that I'm starting to grow a bit of an appreciation for, but also our main lead with Dan Stevens, he's also somebody that I'm also starting to grow a bit of an appreciation for. The way that these two are able to build David as a very intriguing character. There's a lot of mystery surrounding exactly who this person is and exactly why he decided to target this house. And what Adam Wingard was able to do with this movie is get you on board with this mystery while also injecting some dark humor in this movie. It's not a full-blown comedy or anything like that, but it is a suspenseful thriller from beginning to end. You're trying to figure out exactly what's going on with this character, whether or not he's stable or not, and the way that Dan Stevens was able to portray this character with a lot of mystery and intrigue. He's very charismatic, that if I was in this situation, I would definitely be letting him in also, because he's just so charismatic, he's very handsome, and just the way that he goes around with just surrounding himself with this family, trying to be buddy with everybody, but also hiding a bit of a dark past, is also something that I was really intrigued with, and it's what really kept this movie afloat for me. Also with the way that Adam Wingard was able to direct this movie while also hiding a lot of things and not revealing a lot of answers to who David is and where he's coming from. When you have a thriller like this, you need to get the audience on board with this character, with this mystery, and trying to give us some answers while also not pushing all the answers up forward, so that you can also be surprised with the answers. And I think I was about 5% on with how the movie was going to be ending. I was not expecting the surprise that we got with this movie, and I think it works for the story that they are telling. This movie also has a very 80s style feel, not just with the cinematography, but also with the synth score that we have here, that is very reminiscent to a lot of John Carpenter's score. And I also love the way that it was used. It didn't overpower the movie, but it was used in the right ways and at the right times. Michael Monroe is also in this movie, and I like what they were able to do with her character, because she is more of the outgoing party girl. She has a very not so good boyfriend, but she still loves him. And so when she gets introduced to David, she knows that there's something up with him, but she doesn't really know exactly what's going on. And when she's starting to piece the puzzles a little bit, that is when the movie starts to get a little bit more interesting. And I think that is what makes this movie really stand out, is the fact that you're going through this motion of the ocean throughout the entire film, and you're trying to figure out exactly who David is. Maybe he killed their son, maybe he didn't, but this isn't a thriller action movie, which is really surprising, because for the first half of this film you have this really mysterious thriller trying to piece all the puzzles together, and then once we get introduced to Lance Reddick in this movie and we get into the third act of the film, into these bombastic action sequences that I absolutely loved. Once we get into that third act, that is when everything starts to ramp up. You start to get a little bit more interested in everything that's going on. So I really enjoyed how Adam Wingard was able to inject a lot of different tones in this movie. You have a bit of a dark comedy, you have a bit of a thriller, and then in the third act you have a bit of a action movie. So having all that combined while also having this mystery built around this character is what makes this movie really stand out to me as probably a really enjoyable time. I probably don't love it as much as a lot of people, but it's still really entertaining, and it's really a huge surprise because I didn't know what I was going to be expecting going into this movie, but I came out having a really good time and a big smile on my face. But those are my thoughts on The Guest. Have you guys checked it out, or what's an underrated thriller that you guys think is going under the radar and deserves a lot more love? Drop those thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys for the next video.